But diving deeper first into Hamas, saying it has agreed to parts of the Gaza peace proposal outlined by President Trump. And we have team coverage on this story. CBS News senior White House correspondent Jiang is at the White House. And CBS News intelligence and national security reporter Olivia Gazis joins us there from the State Department. Weijia, I'm going to begin with you here tonight. What are we hearing from President Trump now that Hamas has accepted this proposal?
Well, Nancy, I think it's really important to characterize it as you did just a bit ago, that Hamas has accepted portions of the president's 20-point peace plan. They have not accepted the proposal in its entirety. Still, even though that's the case, President Trump posted on Truth Social that he believes they are ready for lasting peace. He said that Israel must immediately stop the bombing of Gaza so that we can get the hostages out safely and quickly. And he goes on to say that, this is all about peace in the Middle East, because one of the things Hamas did explicitly agree to was to return all of the hostages, both dead and alive, under the right conditions. They also agreed to turn over power to a different body. But what we don't know, Nancy, is some of the other critical pieces to this. Number one, the proposal states that Hamas will disarm. And of course, that is something they have never agreed to do before. The proposal also says there will be a so-called peace board, a governing board that determines the framework of the government moving forward. We don't know whether Hamas agrees to that either. And so even though this is certainly a big deal and a major development, I would view this as more as a jumping off point to start negotiations, because they do accept the framework of the deal, but not necessarily the deal as it is written right now.
Yeah, a very good point there, Weijia. And even with those outstanding points, President Trump unveiled this on Monday. It has moved at a relatively quick rate. Can you talk about what happened between then and today?
Well, he did unveil this standing next to the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, right here at the White House. And at that time, Netanyahu said that he supported this agreement and they wanted to move forward quickly. We know that, negotiators have played a critical role in this. Mediators, I should say, in Qatar and Egypt have been the ones presenting the proposal to Hamas. And the president set a deadline of Sunday at 6 p.m. for Hamas to accept the agreement, I should say. Now, again, because a lot of this remains murky, we don't know if this is enough to satisfy that deadline or whether they have to actually agree, both sides, on a final agreement, which is Sunday at 6 p.m. The White House today earlier said if that does not happen, there would be consequences, Nancy.
Plenty more conversations ahead. Weijia, thank you very much. And CBS News intelligence and national security reporter Olivia Gazis joins us now. Olivia, very good to see you here. Walk us through this response from Hamas and why the group has ultimately agreed to parts of this proposal.
Sure. I think, Nancy, you just heard from Weijia spell it out very well. There are some reasons to be optimistic about the response that we got from Hamas this evening, but there are many more reasons to be skeptical. On the one hand, it is encouraging that Hamas appears to be agreeing to release all of the hostages and the remains in their possession in one fell swoop. That was a core requirement that President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu set forward, not phases, all of them. So it's good that and encouraging that they're open to doing so. It's also encouraging that they are saying that they're prepared to proceed to immediate logistical and other negotiations for how to do so. That's kind of where the reasons for optimism end, because everything else is somewhat more nebulous. There are a lot of ifs, ands, and buts in the response embedded within them. There's no concrete commitment to disarming, as Weijia mentioned, which was another core requirement from the U.S. and Israel. And all of the discussion of the governance of Gaza beyond this deal are also open-ended, with Hamas not exactly saying that it's going to play no role in governance, which again lays the groundwork for protracted negotiations. Part of it stems from the fact that the proposal itself left a lot of these areas nebulous, and it's also coming within a certain context, right? So Hamas must have registered the fact that President Trump laid this out as a take it or leave it offer. It was very clear that he said, take this or there will be hell to pay. But it's also coming off of a wave of global recognition from a number of Western countries recognizing a Palestinian state that may have given Hamas the notion that they might have more negotiating leverage if they draw this out even further. That could be a factor at play here.
And Olivia, we've talked about what Hamas is possibly agreeing to, those potential points there. What has Israel agreed to under the terms of this potential deal?
Sure. And not to be pedantic, but it's kind of a question of which deal are we talking about. We know that the 20-point plan that we saw emerge publicly differs in some respects from the original 21-point plan that President Trump presented to Muslim and Arab leaders at the UN General Assembly in September. What Prime Minister Netanyahu said that he agreed to, and the text of which we've seen, it was a phased withdrawal of the Israeli military to an agreed-upon but unspecified line within Gaza, as well as the release of close to 2,000 Palestinian prisoners, some of whom were serving life sentences. Now, we've had something of an indication from President Trump that he is viewing this response favorably. He's called on Israel to stop bombing Gaza City. We have not yet heard from the Israeli side. It is Shabbat there, so there may be a delay. A lot will depend on what the Israeli government has to say about this. And even further than that, a lot will depend on whether we in fact see a wholesale hostage release within the next 72 hours or the next several days, even if it's not strictly 72. That wholesale release will be the biggest marker of whether this actually moves forward or we again get mired in protracted negotiations.
Appreciate your context and insight in this. Olivia Gazis, thank you very much.